Hello, 大家好, I'm Grace. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 3 Chinese grammar mistakes that my students make. Let's see if you're also making the same mistakes and let's learn how to avoid them. Most of my students' native language is English, so some of the mistakes I will mention today are related to English grammar. Like the first one, the misuse of 如果. You may have learned that 如果 is a conjunction used in conditional sentences, like 如果明天下雨，我就不出门. If it rains tomorrow, I won't go out. But I often hear the following incorrect sentences.
我不知道如果我明天有空。
I don't know if I have time tomorrow. 老师问如果你能跟我们去。The teacher asked if you can come with us. 他不知道如果我是学生。He doesn't know if I'm a student. Now let's take a look at the first sentence. 我不知道如果我明天有空。I don't know if I have time tomorrow. In English, even though you use if in the sentence, this if is used to form an indirect yes-no question and not to talk about a condition. So in Chinese, we don't use 如果, we use a not a structure to form an indirect yes-no question. Here, a could be a verb or an auxiliary verb, depending on the sentence. So instead of saying 我不知道如果我明天有空, the correct version is 我不知道我明天有没有空。我不知道我明天有没有空。Okay, your turn. Try to correct this one. 老师问如果你能跟我们去。The teacher asked if you can come with us. Yes, it should be 老师问你能不能跟我们去。Now try to correct this one. 他不知道如果我是学生。He doesn't know if I'm a student. How would you say this correctly? Yes, it is. 他不知道我是不是学生。Okay, now that you got all of them right, let's move on to the next common mistake. The misuse of 是. You may have seen the translation of 是 is to be, so many Chinese learners say something like 她是聪明，她是漂亮，我哥哥是高。In Chinese, we don't usually use an adjective with 是. Instead, we often use adjectives with degree adverbs. So if you want to say he is smart, instead of saying 他是聪明, you can say 他很聪明, he very smart. Now it's your turn. How would you correct this sentence? 她是漂亮. Yes, you can say 她很漂亮. She very pretty. You can even say 她超漂亮. She super pretty. You can use any degree adverb you prefer. If you'd like to learn more about degree adverbs, here is a video where I talk about alternatives for 很, so you can express yourself in a variety of different ways. Okay, now let's try to correct this one. 我哥哥是高. That's right, you can say 我哥哥很高. My brother very tall. However, you may feel confused when you hear native Chinese speakers say sentences like 他是聪明，但是很懒. He is smart but lazy. In this case, 是 is used to agree with others, so they should be context given. 哇，你儿子好聪明。他是聪明，但是很懒。Here, 是 is used to agree with the other person. However, there is usually a but after it. Here is another example. 她是漂亮，可是脾气不太好。她是漂亮，可是脾气不太好。She is indeed pretty, but she has a bad temper. Okay, now you know that we do have the structure subject plus 是 plus adjective. But this is used to agree with others before adding a contrasting comment. So if you use this structure without any context, it would sound kind of weird. Okay, now let's move on to the third mistake, the misuse of 不可以. 可以 has many different usages. Like when something can be achieved without any problem, you can use 可以. For instance, 我可以参加明天的活动。我可以参加明天的活动。I can join tomorrow's event. 可以 can also be used to talk about the usage of something, like 这个手表可以测你的心跳。这个手表可以测你的心跳。This watch can measure your heart rate. Other than that, 可以 can be used to express that someone has permission to do something. For example, 我们上课时可以说英文，也可以说中文。我们上课时可以说英文，也可以说中文。We can speak English or Chinese during class. However, here is the problem. The negation of 可以 is 不可以, and 不可以 is used to express that something is not allowed. For example, 上课的时候不可以睡觉。上课的时候不可以睡觉。We can't sleep during class. It's not allowed. So, 如果你的老师问你可不可以参加明天的活动, if your teacher asks you if you can join tomorrow's event and you say 我不可以参加明天的活动, then that means I'm not allowed to join tomorrow's event, and that's probably not what you want to express. So if you can't do something because of some personal reasons or rules, then you can use 不能. 不能. For instance, if you can't join tomorrow's event because you have an exam the following day, then you can say 我后天有考试，所以不能参加明天的活动。我后天有考试，所以不能参加明天的活动。I have an exam the day after tomorrow, so I can't join tomorrow's event. 你下礼拜二可以来吗？我下礼拜会生病，所以不能去。
That's the worst excuse I've ever heard.
If you can't do something because you don't know how to do it or don't have the right skills, then you can use 不会。不会。For instance, 我不会做饭。我不会做饭。I can't cook. 我不会开车。我不会开车。I can't drive. However, if you have the intention to or you tried doing something but was unable to get a certain result, then you can use this structure, verb plus 不 plus complement. For example, 我看不到老师写了什么。我看不到老师写了什么。I can't see what the teacher wrote. 我吃不下这些菜。我吃不下这些菜。I can't finish this food. If you say 我不能吃这些菜, then that means there's some reason you can't have the food. It might be that you're allergic to the food or something else. It's a bit complicated, so let's do a quick recap for this part. When you want to negate 可以, remember that it's not always 不可以. It depends on the meaning you want to express. Let's see these 4 sentences. They have different negation words and therefore express different meanings. 他不可以说话. He's not allowed to talk. 他不能说话.
He can't speak due to some personal reason or rule.
他不会说话. He doesn't know how to speak. 他说不了话. He can't speak even if he wanted to. Alright, that's all for today's video. 如果你喜欢今天的影片，别忘记按赞、订阅和分享哦。And if you'd like to support me to make more content, please visit my Ko-fi page. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Last but not least, if you'd like to learn some daily Mandarin expressions, check out my Instagram, Grace Mandarin. 那我们就下次见喽，拜拜。
Another lazy afternoon. The clouds covered in gray. Third coffee of the day. Almost fell asleep on Zoom. I yawn at the display.